Welcome back. In this video, we're diving into how to connect FastAPI with SQLAlchemy to create a fully functional backend API. We'll cover everything from setting up the connection to performing CRUD operations, create, read, update, and delete on your data. By the end, you'll be equipped to build and manage your own database-driven applications with ease. Let's jump right in. Let's start by connecting FastAPI to databases using SQLAlchemy. SQLAlchemy is one of the most powerful and flexible ORMs, object relational mappers, available in Python. It allows you to interact with your database in a more Pythonic way, making it easier to manage your data and perform complex queries. Let's get started by understanding what SQLAlchemy is and how we can set it up with FastAPI. What is SQLAlchemy? SQLAlchemy is an ORM that allows you to interact with your database using Python objects instead of writing raw SQL queries. It bridges the gap between your Python code and your database, allowing you to define your database schema as Python classes. SQLAlchemy supports a wide range of databases, including SQLite, PostgreSQL, MySQL, and more. SQLAlchemy provides a high-level abstraction over database operations. It allows you to define tables and columns as Python classes and attributes. SQLAlchemy can work in both a declarative way, defining models, and an imperative way, writing raw SQL. Now that we understand what SQLAlchemy is, let's see how we can integrate it with FastAPI. We'll start by setting up a basic FastAPI application and then connecting it to a SQLite database using SQLAlchemy. SQLite is a lightweight, file-based database that's perfect for small projects or development environments. First, we need to import the key components from SQLAlchemy. We'll import create engine, column, integer, and string from SQLAlchemy. We'll also import declarative base from SQLAlchemy.xt.declarative and session maker from SQLAlchemy.orm. Next, we initialize our FastAPI application using the FastAPI class. Now we define the URL for our SQLite database. This URL tells SQLAlchemy where to find our database file. We create an engine using create engine. This engine is what connects our FastAPI application to the database. Here we're using SQLite with the database URL SQLite//test.db. The part connect args check same thread false is specific to SQLite and allows the same connection to be used across different threads. Next, we create a session using session maker. This session is what we'll use to interact with the database. By setting auto commit false, we make sure that changes are not automatically saved to the database. We'll manually commit our transactions, giving us more control. Finally, we create a base class using declarative base. This base class is the foundation for all our database models. It helps SQLAlchemy manage the models and map them to database tables. At this point, we've set up the basic connection to our SQLite database. However, we don't have any data to interact with yet. To fix that, we need to define some database models. A model in SQLAlchemy is a Python class that represents a table in your database. Each attribute of the class corresponds to a column in the table. Let's define our first model. This will be a user model with 3 columns: ID, name, and email. Core table name. This attribute specifies the name of the table in the database. In this case, our table will be named users. ID. This column is our primary key. It uniquely identifies each record in the table. Name. This column stores the user's name as a string. Email. This column stores the user's email address as a string. We've made it unique, meaning no 2 users can have the same email. Now that we've defined our model class, we need to create the actual database table. We do this by calling base.metadata.createAll bind equals engine. This command creates the tables in the database based on the models we've defined. It's crucial to run this command after defining your models to make sure the tables are created. And there you have it. We've successfully set up SQLAlchemy with FastAPI and created our first database table. In the next part, we'll move on to performing CRUD operations, creating, reading, updating, and deleting records in our database. Before we dive into CRUD operations, it's important to understand a key component of our FastAPI and SQLAlchemy setup, the getDB function. This function is responsible for managing our database sessions, which are crucial for interacting with the database. Let's break it down. The getDB function. In FastAPI, we often need a database session for each request to interact with the database. The getDBB function is a dependency that provides this session to our endpoints. Let's take a look at the code. Session local. This is a factory function we defined earlier when setting up SQLAlchemy. It creates a new SQLAlchemy session, which is used to interact with the database. Each session is a connection to the database. YieldDB. The yield statement in Python is used to return a value and then pause the function. In the context of FastAPI, this allows the session to be used in the API endpoint. After the endpoint function completes, control returns to getDB. Finally, db.close. The finally block ensures that the database session is closed after the request is processed, whether it was successful or an error occurred. This is crucial for preventing database connection leaks. When we use depends getDB in our endpoints, FastAPI automatically calls the getDB function for us. It provides the endpoint with a database session that can be used to execute queries and interact with the database. Once the request is completed, the session is closed, ensuring efficient management of database connections. Now, let's start with the create operation. This is where we add new records to our database. In SQLAlchemy, this process is straightforward. We create an instance of our model class, set its attributes, and then add it to the database session. Finally, we commit the session to save the new record. Here's how you can implement the create operation in FastAPI. First, we'll define a Pydantic model to handle the input data. This model will validate the data before it gets saved to the database. The user create model ensures that when we create a new user, the name and email fields are required and should be strings. Next, we'll create a FastAPI endpoint to handle the creation of a new user. This endpoint will receive the data, create a new user object, and save it to the database. At app.post/user/. This line defines a post endpoint at the URL/user/. Response model equals user. This tells FastAPI to return the created user's details as a response. DB session depends to getDB. Here, we're injecting the database session into the endpoint using depends getDB. This session is what allows us to interact with the database. DB user, name user.name, email user.email. Here, we create a new user object using the data passed in the request. db.add DB user. This adds the new user object to the database session. db.commit. This saves the changes to the database. db.refresh DB user. This reloads the user object with the new data from the database, such as the ID assigned by the database. Return DB user. Finally, we return the newly created user. Let's test our create operation using FastAPI's interactive docs. Navigate to /docs and look for the post/user/endpoint. Enter a name and an email, then execute the request. You should see the newly created user with an ID returned in the response. Next, let's move on to the read operation. This is where we retrieve data from the database. With SQLAlchemy, you can easily query the database to find records that match certain criteria or just get all the records from a table. Here's how to implement the read operation. We'll start by creating an endpoint to retrieve all users from the database. At app.get/user/. This line defines a get endpoint at the URL/user/. Response model equals list user. This tells FastAPI to return a list of users. DB session equals depends getDB. Again, we use depends DB to provide the endpoint with a database session. Skip int equals 0, limit int equals 10. These are query parameters that allow us to paginate the results. Skip indicates how many records to skip, and limit specifies the maximum number of records to return. Users equals db.queryUser, offset skip, limit all. This line queries the database for users, skips a certain number of records, limits the number of records returned, and retrieves them as a list. We'll also create an endpoint to retrieve a specific user by their ID. At app.get/users user ID, this defines a get endpoint that includes the user ID as a path parameter. DB session equals depends get DB. Here again, the database session is provided to the endpoint. User equals db.query user filter user.id equals user ID first. This line queries the database for a user with the specified user ID. If found, it returns the user. If not, it returns none. If user is none, if no user is found, we raise an HTTP 404 error. Let's test our read operation using FastAPI's interactive docs. In the /docs, find the get user/endpoint to retrieve all users. Then test the get/users user ID endpoint by entering a valid user ID to fetch a specific user. Now let's look at the update operation. This is where we modify existing records in the database. In SQLAlchemy, updating a record is as simple as finding the record, changing its attributes, and committing the changes. Here's how you can implement the update operation. First, we define a Pydantic model for the data that will be used to update the user. This model makes sure that the data is valid before making any changes in the database. The user update model allows partial updates, meaning you can update either the name, email, or both. Next, we create the FastAPI endpoint that will handle updating a user. @.put/user/user ID. This line defines a put endpoint to update an existing user. DB user is db.query user filter user.id equals user ID. First, we start by finding the user by user ID. dbuser.name equals username if username is not none, else dbuser.name. Here, we update the user's name only if a new name is provided. dbuser.emails, user.email if user.email is not none, else dbuser.email. Similarly, we update the user's email only if a new email is provided. db.commit. We save the changes to the database. db refresh dbuser. Finally, we refresh the user object to get the updated data. Let's test our update operation using FastAPI's interactive docs. In the /docs, find the put user/user ID endpoint. Enter a valid user ID and provide the new data for the name or email. Then execute the request. The response should show the updated user details. Lastly, let's look at the delete operation. This is where we remove records from the database. Deleting a record with SQLAlchemy involves finding the record, deleting it from the session, and committing the change. Here's how to implement the delete operation. We'll create an endpoint to handle the deletion of a user by their ID. @delete/user/user ID. This defines a delete endpoint to remove a user identified by user ID. db user equals db.query user filter user.id equals user ID. First, we start by finding the user by user ID. db.delete dbuser. This removes the user from the session. db.commit. This saves the changes to the database, effectively deleting the user. Let's test our delete operation using FastAPI's interactive docs. In the /docs, find the delete/user/user ID endpoint. Enter a valid user ID and execute the request. The response should show the deleted user details. If you try to fetch this user again using the get user/user ID endpoint, you should receive a user not found error. And that's it. We've successfully implemented and tested all the CRUD operations, create, read, update, and delete, using SQLAlchemy in FastAPI. These operations form the foundation of most backend applications, so mastering them is essential for building robust APIs. Thank you for watching. In the next video, we'll dive into more advanced topics like database relationships and data validation. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. See you in the next one.